Hey ho ho, welcome back to another episode of So You're Interested In. This is the show where I go through a particular artist or group's discography to show you the perfect jumping off point in order to get into them. This week we're going to go over the legendary discography of the Austin-based post-rock group Explosions in the Sky. Releasing their first record in 2000, they've since released a plethora of albums and singles, as well as doing some soundtracks for some films such as Lone Survivor and Manglehorn. Post-rock and instrumental rock can be such difficult genres, especially if the music becomes stale, but fortunately for Explosions in the Sky, they have yet to fall into this trap. As always, I will be going over 2 albums and 3 tracks that I think you should be listening to if you're interested in getting into this group. Now, on to the albums. The first album you should be listening to from Explosions in the Sky is their 2003 release, The Earth Is Not a Cold, Dead Place. Quite possibly their most well-known and beloved project, this album scales from the most delicate guitar plucks to these explosive crescendos that leave ringing in your ear. First Breath After Coma, the album's first track, opens up with this tingling guitar that builds alongside its counterpart instruments until this cataclysmic barrage of noise opens up and the track just explodes. From there, it's a slow ride into descent, casting a mesmerizing spell over the listeners. The next track, clocking in at 10 minutes and 14 seconds, The Only Moment We Were Alone, sounds like the ending to the soundtrack of a movie where the 2 lead characters finally reach each other and subsequently reach their goals. It's soft and soothing until the drums finally kick in, allowing for a backbone to be built, and then the rest of the instruments can spread their wings and fly. Finally, the closing track, Your Hand in Mine, needs to be heard by the masses. The mixing and production alone on this track are fabulous, with these tight, precise drum slaps and a ringing guitar strokes. It's just a wonderful track off of an equally wonderful album that you need to listen to. Next up, you should be listening to their 2007 LP, All of a Sudden I Miss Everyone. This is probably my favorite Explosions in the Sky album, as I love the much more rough around the edges and fuzzy sound and texture. The album's first track, The Birth and Death of the Day, holds a remarkable amount of noise and fuzz while still staying true to their more peaceful nature. Speaking of nature, the next song you should be listening to is It's Natural to Be Afraid. This track is more serene and sparse, almost feeling like a bedtime tune. That is, of course, until it explodes into a million pieces, building up into this gorgeous crescendo. Finally, the last track, So Long Lonesome, is easily the most gorgeous track I've ever heard in my life, and I do seriously mean that. Like, if you gave me the word beautiful and I had to tell you what song goes with that word, I would pick this every single time. The piano riff alone could bring a tear to a grizzled old man's eye. This song, along with the album, is a must listen if you're trying to get into Explosions in the Sky. Alright, enough of the albums, let's get into the tracks. The first track to be listening to comes off their 2017 release, The Wilderness, and the track is titled Disintegration Anxiety. Using these otherworldly guitar pedals and drum machines, this song is fast-paced and disorienting. This song really does feel like Anxiety, the soundtrack. The mixing is beautiful, allowing for typically empty spaces in between their notes to be filled with sounds of wonder and awe. The drums alone make this song worth listening to, as it feels like it could have just come straight off of the Flaming Lips' The Soft Bulletin. Next up, Magic Hours, off of their debut album How Strange Innocence, is a must listen. It's a much more stripped back version of some of the songs that they would later create, as they opt for a more simplified structure while still adding in that Explosions in the Sky flair. The notes are well articulated, as there is little reverb behind the instruments. The song goes from a snail's pace to eventually gaining speed until these fuzzed out guitar slashes overtake the song. One of their best early tracks for sure. Finally, you need to give Hello, off of their soundtrack for Manglehorn, a listen to. A calming xylophone opens up this track, being complemented by these long and wavy synths. This track isn't as meaty as most of the others, as it is only 4 minutes in length, but it still is a nice casual tune to put on, definitely something for like an early morning sunrise. And that is all that I have for you on this episode. All of the albums and tracks will be linked in the description box below, and while you're down there, let me know if I missed one of your favorite Explosions in the Sky tracks, or if after watching this video you went and got into this group, because that would be awesome for me to hear. Make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this, as well as some oral histories of classic albums and me just kind of going through my record collection. I hope this video helps you get into Explosions in the Sky, and until next time, happy listening.